Hello, today we're going to talk all about Instagram carousel. So let's dive in. There are two ways you can create Instagram carousels. First, we're going to cover the most basic way, and then we'll cover a more cohesive way. So go to canva.com. And instead of clicking on Instagram post, what you want to do is you want to create a custom size design. And the reason this is because when you're doing an Instagram post, your height should always be 1,350 pixels. So when we go in, we're going to create a design and we're going to create custom, and the width will always be 1080. And the height will be 1350. This way, what happens is when you post to Instagram, it'll cover the whole screen because most people are looking at Instagram from their mobile device. And so instead of being able to see images on the top and images on the bottom, they'll see your whole image. So let's go ahead and create new. So we have our design here, and then over here on the left, you're going to see different types of templates. I'm just going to start with a colored background. I'm going to choose one of my brand colors, and I'm going to choose an element. So we have our frames here. Let me choose another element. And I'm going to choose this little squiggly one. And first, what we're going to do is we're going to design the first slide. And I'm going to duplicate that. And you can duplicate just by clicking on the element and pressing Control D, or on a Mac, it might be Command D. So we're just going to do a basic design here, and I'm going to grab some text. And your first slide should always be your cover. So that could be your title. And then once you have everything correct and how you want it displayed, we're going to make this just a little bigger. Now what you want to do is you want to come up here and you'll see the little plus sign right above the image. You want to duplicate that, and you can duplicate it by the number of slides you want. So your first page should always be your title page, and then your end page should always be your end frame. So with this, because I want 3 in the middle, so I'm going to choose 4. Let me make sure I've got 5 here. Oh, and so this one is going to be my end frame. And typically what I like to do is I'm going to get that set up. I'm going to bring in a picture, and I will place a picture of myself in there, in which I have. If you don't have it in your uploads, you can click on Upload Media and bring in the image. But I do have the image here, right here it is. And I'm going to drag it right in the frame. And then typically what I like to do is bring in some other graphics. And it could be as simple as a box. Oh, that's a frame. Let me delete that out. We'll come up here and we'll choose a rectangle. And I'm going to bring this one in, and I'm just going to make it smaller. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some text, and an easy way to do that is just press your T and some text will come in. And I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit and place it in the box. Let's come down just a tad more. And I'm going to change the color of the box. And that's an image. Let's bring that out. And we wanted this shape. And actually it's perfect for the color that I want to use because that's part of my brand colors. And then I'm going to grab this and make sure it's aligned in there. And then I'm going to highlight both of them and I'm going to group them. That way, if I need to resize them, it'll resize both of them at the same time. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that one. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change my text. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of twirl them a little bit. So basically that is my end frame. Then what I want to do is I want to bring in, let me see my recently used. And we are looking for, you know how in Instagram you have the little save option? So it is this, it's not this exact one. Let me go to lines and shapes. And it is this one right here, in which you can change the colors. And actually, I think I'm going to make that color just a little bit lighter. I'm going to make it smaller, in which I'm going to bring down here. And then I am going to duplicate this one more time. Make it even. And I'm going to change the wording. If I can spell. So then what I want to do is I want to shrink this down just a little bit more. Same with this one. And kind of line them up. And I'm going to ungroup this. And then what I want to do is group all of them together. That way, when I resize them, I might want to change that to a white. So we have our end frame basically. So on the prior frames, what is going to be your content. But one thing you want to do is come over here and we're going to choose arrow. And this arrow I like to bring in and I like to place it down here. And we can always change the color of it. We'll change it to black. Make it just a tad smaller. Because then what you're going to want to do is you're going to take that image and press Control C, or it could be Command C on a Mac. And we want to put that on every page, except for the last page. And then the other thing you want to do is we're going to come over here to text and we're going to add a little body of text. It's very small. Let me see if I can make it bigger. And we're going to put 1 of 5 pages. So we'll take this and we'll place it right up here. Let's just make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy, paste it on every page. And then what we'll do is we'll go back through and we'll change it. And we'll come in here and change that to 5. Change that to 4. Three. There. Now in the corner, it'll be able to tell people as they're scrolling through how many pages there are. So once you have all of your content in each of the frames, now it's time to download it. Now, if you download this, all the files at once, it's going to download as a zipped folder. So we have all 5 pages selected. And so we're going to download them, and you want to download them as a PNG. And then go to your downloads folder wherever things are at. And then you want to right click on it and extract the data from there. So it puts it in a folder. So that way you have all of your images there. And then you just go to Instagram and you upload each image. You'll have, depending on what type of device you use to get them over to your phone. I personally have an iPhone and I have iCloud Drive on my computer, and I just put them over there. They show up on my phone and I upload them. The next way we're going to show you is a little bit more complex way. And so let's go back to Canva. So with this other way, what you want to do is you want to create a custom size. Now, like I said, the height should always be 1,350 pixels. But depending on the number of slides you want, your width will change. So for an example, if I want 3 slides, no, let's just say 5 slides to my carousels, just like what we created, I want the width to be 5,400 pixels. So how do you get that width? What you do is the standard width is 1,080. So if you take 1,080 times 5, that's going to give you 5,400. So if you want 3 slides, it would be 1,080 times 3, 5 slides or 4 slides, 1,080 times 4. Now, when you're doing this, the maximum number of slides that Canva will allow is 7, because you can't go anything longer than 8,000 pixels. So let's go ahead and create our design. We're going to create a new design. And you'll notice we have a long strip in here. First, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure your rulers and your guides are turned on. All you have to do is click on File, Show Rulers, and File, Show Guides. So then what you want to do, because we're going to have 5 slides, you need rulers in place, guides brought over at each 1,080 interval. So that way you'll be able to see the breakup in the slides. So let's go ahead and start. And as a tip, one of the easiest ways I found to do this is to expand this up far enough. So let's try and get our first one over. And all you're going to do over here is come over here in the margin and click, and you'll see the numbers at the top. So we want to go to 1,080. I'm just going to bring it over there as a starting point. Then I'm going to increase my size. I just found it helps me trying to get it lined up. And it doesn't always work. So 1,081, we'll call that good. So my next one is going to be at 2160. So we want to drag another one over. And we'll say 2159. And we can go in closer and do this even more precise. So the next one we want it to be at is 3,240. And it's at 3239. And the last one we want to bring in is at 4,320. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in just a little bit sharp or more here. So that way I can come up here and it's supposed to be at 4,320. Sometimes you aren't going to be able to get it exact. I'm just that type of person that likes to have it exact. So that's why I'm going through this. This one was really close. And it's really hard to get precise. So this one should be at 2160. Yeah, we were almost there. And if you can't get it, it's totally fine. I mean, close is close. See, I'm having a struggle getting it on the 60 mark. So we leave that at 2159. The next one, let's check this one. Yeah, we're pretty good. I had it there. There we go. So then I'm going to decrease so I can see. So the next thing you want to do is you want to bring down 2 lines. You from the top, you want one at 168. And with this, it can be difficult as well. And you want the other one at 1,176. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to see if I can get it. There's that one. And 1,176. We'll leave it at 1,177. And the reason why you want these is because in this area is where you're going to put your stuff, your text. So we always say this first one is the cover and this last one is the end frame. So now you can start designing. So let's come here and I am going to choose a background here. I'm just going to choose this one. No, I had a different one. Let's see if we can find a. I can even drop the transparency down just a tad. There we go. So what happens when you have this long image? What you can start doing is coming up to your elements and you can start placing designs that intermingle. So like if I took one here and placed it right here, when you split the slide up and it shows up in Instagram, they're going to see a cohesive element that's going to go between the two. I'm just choosing random elements here to kind of give you an idea. And we'll just choose one more. So you'll be able to see as we go through here, And one thing you should always do at the bottom on each page, whoops, is we're going to add some text here. And on each page, and I should have shown you this on the others, you should always put your Instagram handle. That way, if someone shares it or someone downloads it, your Instagram handle is always on the image. So we're going to take that and we're going to copy it to each page. Bring it over there. And as you can see, because I have it highlighted, you'll see the guides to help you line it up. And I'm not going to put it on the last page because that is going to be our end frame, and that's where we're going to put save for later. We're going to have our IG handle on there. And remember up here, we want to do another piece of text to say 1 of 5. And we're going to bring this right up here. And we're going to copy and paste it. So let's click on it, Control C, Control V, and bring it over, and we'll use our guides to help line it up. Get out. And remember, we want to go in here and change the number. There. And then we're going to go back to our elements. And I'm going to bring in my end frame. Excuse me. So I'm going to bring in this curly one. I'm going to drag it all the way over to the end. And an easy part too is if you have this on other slides, copy and paste them over so you're not doing this manually over and over again. And once you get a basic template down, save it as a template. That way you can always reuse it. So we're going to bring in my picture. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come back to all my designs. And I'm going to come down here. I'm going to grab these two. I'm going to Control C. I'm going to bring it back over here. And I'm going to Control V. So it tends to go in the middle. So we just need to move it over. I'm coming back to the one we just created. I'm going to Control C. Come back here. I'm going to Control V. I gotta go grab it because I placed it in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag it down here, and I'm going to make it slightly bigger to kind of match the size of our other lettering. There we go. And so here, this will be your cover photo. So let's add your cover frame, I'm sorry. So we're just going to put some words in here. And we're going to duplicate, bring that over, duplicate, bring that over, duplicate, bring that over. And I'm just putting text in here just so we can get the carousel done. Whoops. So there, we have an Instagram carousel all created. Well, it looks a little big for Instagram. So now what do? We download this as a PNG file. And while that's downloading, there we go, it downloaded. We're going to come over here and we're going to go to a site called Pine Tools.com. And what this will do is it will split your image. So we're going to say split image. So split files or split an image into smaller pieces. So what you want to do is you want to choose your file, and that will be the file we just downloaded. And we're going to open it up. And you'll see the big image here. We want to split this image horizontally, split by quantity of blocks equal width, and we want to change to the number of slides that we're looking for. And we want to export as a PNG. Now, all you do is click on Split Image, and then you can either download each one as its own PNG or download the zip file. We're going to open that up. And here is each image. Oh, I need to come back here. I need to extract it. That's why we couldn't see it. Don't forget to extract the file. So here's the file. And here are all your images. And so you would follow the same process as before, as far as downloading them to your device and getting them uploaded to Instagram. But you see how when you go through each slide, so let's look at, see this piece up here where it says 1 of 5? You see how it's up in the corner? But if you go the second one, it comes down. That's because it's cohesive together and everything flows smoothly. So once you have your templates built, save them as templates so you don't have to recreate the wheel each time. But as an added bonus, if you would like free templates, join my Facebook group, Content Creation Made Simple, and you will be emailed free templates from 2 slides all the way to 7 slides. So you don't have to create this wheel all by yourself. I hope you found this information helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.